All right. Well, welcome everyone to our team call tonight. So excited to have you. It's Sunday, February 18th, for those of you watching the recording. But I'm excited about tonight. We're going to keep it pretty simple and to the back. We're going to get back to doing the hot seats again tonight. And we have Bridget Wheeler in the hot seat tonight. So you guys are going to learn a bunch from her. She's fresh off of the New Leader Conference and has a lot of great ideas. She was actually at my house for a little bit on Friday, and I was just picking her brain and so excited about everything that she was sharing. So I'm excited for you guys to learn more from her. Before we jump into that, I did want to just start off with a few announcements and reminders. So the first one, and I'm probably going to mention this like every week up until it's too late, but Summit is happening in June. And Summit is our annual event that is for all Beachbody coaches, no matter what level you're at, whether you're a new coach or you're a more seasoned coach. It really is going to help you in your business no matter what. And so if you want to get a ticket to that, I highly recommend it, even if you don't know anyone, or even if you're not at this point like super sure with how serious you want to take the business, because when you're there, it will give you lots of clarity, probably in the sense that you're going to fall in love with this business and want to work it to help as many people as you can. With that, with Summit, if you are attending Summit, be sure that you are inside of the group that Carl Deichler, our CEO, is running right now. It's this incredible group where he's really just sharing different tips as far as how you can be successful, but then also help your team to be successful as well.
Mommy, Mabel's making sounds.
Mabel's making sounds. Okay, you're going to sit by me for a minute.
But Mom, I'm going to have...
Okay. You say hi?
Hi.
So he's really sharing tips about how you can build your own business.
Hey, Mom, there was us.
Yeah, there we are. There's us. How you can build your own business and then also help your coaches to build their businesses.
I think I see Mrs.
Yeah, you do see Mrs. Ossegard. Oh, that's really funny. So that group is called the 1x3x5 group, and he's supposed to be in his bed, but whatever. At this point. Are you going to go up to your bed, buddy?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, perfect. So I posted the link to that group inside our Facebook group. So make sure you're in that group because it's really awesome. He did just post tonight. If you're in there and you haven't yet seen it, he posted this challenge, a 60-day challenge for Instagram stories. And I love it because he has just really been taking a good look at what are successful coaches doing and then sharing those best practices. That's kind of what Beachbody is all about this year, which I love because it's just tangible stuff that you can apply right away. And so the idea, whether you're in that or not, whether you're going to Summit or not, I did want to share a little bit about it because you can do it no matter what. So the idea is that you're going to post in Instagram stories every single day for 60 days, 4 to 5 different posts a day. And there's some specific ones that he's encouraging us to do, like share yourself mixing up your Shakeology or your Energize, share a couple workout moves, share something from your life, share like a soft invitation for people to join you in the business or in a challenge group. So those are kind of some of the guidelines. I'll try to post some of the stuff that he's sharing in our team page as well. But you guys, Instagram stories is seriously where it's at right now. I mean, talking to so many people, and I'm sure Bridget will mention tonight some stuff that she learned at the New Leader Conference too. But if you're not doing that, it's like, it's amazing. Plus, it's honestly just so easy because you don't have to think about like, oh my gosh, I have to have the perfect lighting or I have to have the perfect story. Like, what I love about Instagram stories is it really forces you to just be you. You can't fake it. You can't pretend to be someone else that you're not. And you kind of start to find your voice. So I definitely encourage you guys to try to do that. The other announcement that I wanted to share is just a reminder that Jake and I are going to run a 3-week boot camp, and we're calling it Shred to Spring Break, starting on February 26th. And so you are welcome to advertise for that, to add people into that group who are interested. As far as the different equipment, we are going to incorporate some of the 80-day obsession moves and workouts, so they will need sliders and bands. So I am encouraging people to go ahead and just purchase the 80-day obsession, one of those challenge packs, because more than likely they're going to want that stuff anyway down the line. So that's that one, and then following that one, there will be an option for them. That group will end March 18th. There will be an option for them to then go right into the 80-day obsession on Monday, March 19th. So that will be the next official round of 80-day obsession starting for our team. And the last reminder is just that we have our sneak peeks happening weekly. So it's always a good idea to be inviting to those. I spent some time this weekend to really figure out and kind of talking with other coaches on our team, what we need to be having in those groups. So we're going to continue to get those kind of nailed down. Starting this week, you'll see a little bit just more focus in that. And then, yeah, you guys, if you want to grow your business, it really is just as simple as inviting other people to join you and help you to help others. So with that, I think those are all the announcements that I wanted to cover. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat here. But otherwise, Bridget, I will bring you on. I'll unmute you so we don't unmute each other. It's freezing. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm a little delayed here. All right, so let's put Bridget in the hot seat here. Bridget, first of all, for those of the coaches who might be new or don't know you, could you just introduce yourself and share a little bit about your coaching story?
Sure. So I've been coaching since September 2016. I started out in my first challenge group and knew within like 10 days I wanted to coach. And so I am also a mom of 2. I'm pregnant with baby number 3, and that is due in hopefully less than 4 weeks. It's due March 23rd. But and then I am married to Tate. I have 2 boys already, and I'm a lifetime 1-star, and coaching is like the best thing ever. Oh, and I'm a CPA. I work outside the home as a certified public accountant. Got the important thing. But it's tax season right now, and I can't wait till I have this baby because then I don't have to do taxes. So looking forward to that.
Oh yes, I'm so excited for you to have that done. So let's just jump into it, you guys. Feel free to post your questions. I'll kind of get things started here. But whatever questions you might have for Bridget in terms of anything, just type in here and we'll get to those. But Bridget, one thing that I thought would be cool to share is if you could start off by sharing maybe some of your top things that you learned from the New Leaders Conference, specifically like kind of what we were talking about, Instagram stories and Bonnie Engle's story, and some of that stuff that we shared. But I think that would be super helpful for them to hear.
Yes. Okay. So one of the things Bonnie Engel talked about at New Leadership was Instagram and Instagram stories specifically, and a system that she uses. I have my notes here just in case, but I started implementing it right away, especially with the coach sneak peek that we just had, and it's working, which I'm like, wow, implemented and it works. So what she does is she searches like hashtags that are familiar with her life right now, or her phase of life, or even if you find other Instagram pages that you really, really like and they have a ton of followers, go to their followers, or I even go to a post they have and look at who likes their posts, because those are people that are active on Instagram then, I think. And so what you do is you go through there and look and find, so it does take time, but you might find, for instance, for me, I go to this one Instagram account that's like Alexa Jean Fitness or something like that, and she has a ton of followers, or Alexa Jean Brown. And so I go through there, and there's a lot of people that post their fitness journey on Instagram, but they don't get paid for it. I'm like, you guys are crazy. So what I do is I go through and I like and comment on a few of their things, and this is what Bonnie started to do. And so then I started implementing that this last few weeks. And what she does is she goes and likes and comments on, let's say, 3 to 5 pictures. And then she'll start following them. And then she messages them. And she just says, hey, whatever their name is, I bet you saw I liked or commented on a few of your photos. Your posts are so inspiring and encouraging. Are you a fitness coach too? And then the person will reply back. Well, if they reply back, sometimes people don't see those member requests or message requests, but they'll reply back and be like, no, I'm not. What is that? And then they'll inquire about it, or just say no. And I'll be like, oh, well, has it ever interested you at all to that what you do is what we do as a coach? And so would you want to learn more or something like that? So it's just starting the conversation and building that relationship. But I've done that since New Leadership Conference, and I have gotten a lot of different conversations going about people interested in now the coaching opportunity because they're already sharing their fitness journey on Instagram. So it's definitely helped a lot.
That's so great. And can you just share, just so people know that it's normal, that not everyone's going to say yes? Can you kind of share, how that goes down, and like, how do you mentally overcome when someone's like, sorry, that kind of thing?
Yep. So there's plenty of people. There's either people that don't reply back at all, or there's people that just say, no, that's not for me, or anything like that. And so then I just continually navigate the conversation as if just becoming a friend, because then I just want them to continually to follow me, to just see my journey and build that relationship over time. And so there's plenty of people that I have messaged about this, or just messaged and built a relationship with them, and I can see that they're watching my Insta stories and they're liking and commenting on my posts and everything like that. So for me, it's all about building a relationship with them and quote unquote making internet friends.
Yes, I love that. Can you now kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about sort of your work-life balance, like not balance, but like how you have built a business while being a full-time CPA, and especially, thinking back to last year when it was thankfully you've been able to back down a little bit because of Beachbody, but just like, how do you actually find time to work your business with consistency while you have 2 kids and another way, while you have a full-time job? Because I feel like a lot of people want to do it, but they have a hard time overcoming that hurdle.
Yes. Okay. So I am, I'll say my life before coaching was never consistent with my workouts ever. I mean, I'm married to a personal trainer, so you would think I would have it all together. I did not. I was really good with meal planning and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's one thing I was good at, but workouts not consistent at all. And I was a reality TV junkie, loved the Kardashians, the Housewives, all that kind of stuff, Bachelor, whatever you name it. I was like, I have to watch it or record it. And so then coaching came into my life, and I learned about personal development, which I kind of incorporated before Beachbody, but not on a daily basis. So then there's personal development, and then working out every day. And the community of support is what was missing on my fitness journey. So that's definitely something that really, really helped me be consistent. And then now, as a working coach and still working full time and being a mom and pregnant and all that kind of stuff, I get up early, obviously before anybody in the house wakes up, and that's when I get my workout done. And I'm sharing it all on Instagram stories, and then I do a post. And then I do my personal development on my commute. I have a 40-minute commute to work and usually home from work, so that's when I get all my personal development in. I work over my lunch hour, my business. That's when I'm messaging people back. I do have a desk job, so it is kind of easy to have Facebook up in the background, but I do message people over my lunch hour. And then in the evenings too. Tate works a couple nights a week, and so he's not home. So after the kids go to bed, then I am able to do a little bit more like coach calls or trainings or different things like that. Another thing I do with all the different groups we're in on Facebook as coaches, you're probably like, oh my gosh, there's so many videos, so many trainings, all this stuff. I do a lot of that while I'm folding laundry, washing the dishes, or in the shower. I listen to so many, like Carl Deichler's 1x3x5. I just listen to it in the shower. I'm like, I wonder if he knows that people do this. I wanted to comment and say that, but I'm like, no. So yeah, I listen to a lot of videos in the shower, especially YouTube videos from other coaches on training. So that's how I fit it in. And then on the weekends, I still wake up early and do stuff because I'm one of those people, I'm a creature of habit. And so going to bed early and waking up early is still on the weekends. Clearly, I don't drink. I'm pregnant, so I'm never like hungover or like feel like I can't get up. But I still get up on the weekends and do stuff in the morning, and then I over nap time too, get stuff done. And then if you are somebody that feels like, oh, I got to clean during that time, or that's when I meal plan with your kids around, I always incorporate my kids into those type of things. When I clean, my kids are cleaning with me. When I'm meal planning, they're usually meal planning with me. So I incorporate it with them because then it's teaching them valuable lessons, but then I'm getting stuff done when they're around. So that's how I fit it all in.
That's so good. You make it sound so easy. I love it. Like, oh yeah, I just do this, this, and this. But it really does. I mean, I think you're right. Like you have a system and you have a routine. And so, you just stick to that. And I'm sure it took a little, adjusting to actually like change how you were doing things. But then once you're in a good groove and you start to see your production levels go up and your paychecks going up, it's like, that just keeps that momentum going.
Yes.
So that's so cool. So can we just jump back, and you guys, you need to ask some questions, like whatever you're struggling with in unless your business is like going perfectly, then, feel free to just not ask anything. But if you have any questions about anything, ask Bridget. But I would love to jump back to when you started, because you actually started as a coach and you reached diamond rank very quickly. So can you talk about that? Like how long did it take you to reach diamond and how did you do it?
Yes. So I reached diamond, I think it was 5 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks. I think it was 5 weeks. I don't remember. But I did it mainly with discount coaches, and I think all of them, but I knew a lot of them could turn into working coaches. And so obviously it was all, for me, I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan. I'm all about financial freedom, budgeting, all that kind of stuff. I'm just a huge Dave Ramsey fan. And so when the discount options available, it's hard for me not to offer it to people because I'm all about people saving money. It's just a part of who I am. And so a lot of people trusted me already in the sense of saving money because I've been a Dave Ramsey fan since I think Tate and I started our debt-free journey in 2012. And so it's like people knew that about me already when I started coaching. And so me doing this thing of producing a side income was not weird to anyone because of what they already knew about me. And then the whole fitness aspect, when I put myself out there and shared my struggles, a lot of people were surprised because I've always been this high positive person, but deep down, obviously, we all struggle with certain things. And when I shared it, then people were really like, oh my gosh, I want to join you, or I would love to be able to, do this with you and everything like that. So it was putting myself out there, yes, but a lot of people then wanted to join with me, and then they wanted to, when I offered the discount option for them, they were able to join, or do that way also. And a lot of those people then turned into working coaches eventually, but it did take time for them to fall in love with it, just like it took me a little time to fall in love with it too.
Mm-hmm. That's so great. So just because there's a lot of, newer coaches on the call, can you explain like kind of exactly how you did that for Diamond? Like, did you use any family members? Like, what was your strategy in terms of, because I agree with you. Like, I think most people build to Diamond on a lot of discount coaches. I think that's totally normal because you never know who is going to, like, if you wait around for only working coaches, like, you would never get to Diamond because you never know who's going to work it. But if you could sort of, just kind of share a little bit about what was your strategy there and how did you decide, okay, I'm going to hit this in 5 weeks and this is how I'm going to do it. Like, could you kind of walk us through your thought process there?
Yeah. So it was, you need the 4 and 4 and then 2 emeralds on each side to be a diamond. And so my husband's on one side, which he was like my second person I signed up on that side. So it's even crazy. He's like below my best friend. So my best friend is on that side, and then plus him, and then 2 other people that joined me. And then on my other side, my mother-in-law, who needed to get healthy, we signed her up. and then put more people over there. And then we put, 2 discount coaches under each Tate and then my mother-in-law. And so it was like, Tate's cousin was there and all this other stuff. So obviously we all have a lot of family and personal friends that just asking them to, hey, I'm doing this. Do you want to do it with me? This has changed my life. If it has, if you've been a coach for a couple of weeks, I knew from the minute I started my first challenge group, and then within 10 days is when I felt I had the light bulb moment, like, oh my gosh, this has changed my life already because of it. And so then getting started and sharing it with others has really helped with having others join me, especially your close family and friends that really trust you already.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And yeah, I just think the way that what I loved about your mindset though is that you're just like, I'm just going to figure this out. It wasn't like, yeah. You were just like, okay, well,
I searched YouTube a lot in my first 30 days. I was like, Amber's busy. I messaged her. She didn't get back to me in 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, go look at YouTube because I have no patience.
Mommy!
It's true. I think if you probably asked.
Mommy, Ben is in the living room.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad he's in the living room. I think if you asked any coach who's had success, they would say that the number one reason they succeeded is because they just did a lot. They were resourceful. They were searching. You guys, me too. I've had an upline when I joined. And so, I was on YouTube probably 8 hours a day, like you said, while I was changing diapers and folding clothes. It's you just have something on and you're listening to it. So I love that. So we have one coach, and I have to say I'm so impressed, Natalie, that you're on here because she literally signed up maybe 1 or 2 days ago and she's already on the call. So she's been a challenger, but she's asking about social media, and we do have some training. I was actually working on a few videos this weekend for that too, some new ones. But Bridget, what would be your best social media advice for a brand new coach?
Oh, well, okay. So when I was one of those people that I posted to social media here and there, but not a lot because I kind of almost held back when I shared different things because I didn't with healthy recipes and stuff like that, because I was one of those people that started eating 100 Days of Real Food, all about clean eating, when Turner, he's 4 now, so he was only 4 months old when we converted, when Tate became a certified nutritionist. But I would share stuff here and there, but I was like, oh, I don't want to share too much. So then when I started my journey, I just started sharing it. Each day I share a motivational workout post. And so I just started doing that, and people saw it and they're like, that's awesome. Or I would get messages, and they didn't even know I was starting to coach because I didn't even put it out there yet. Just the first 2 weeks before we had our first official lead generator for the coach training, I just kind of shared different things or a different move or something like that. And so it's a learning process, and there's a ton of YouTube videos out there again, especially for any network marketer. But if you search, Beachbody coaches, social media on YouTube, you can find a bunch of different things, but it's just sharing your journey and what you do day in and day out to lead your healthy lifestyle. What did you eat that day? What kind of workout did you do? Something that motivated you. If you're listening to personal development every day, you probably have something to share that you learned from it. So
that's so good. I love it. Just keep it simple and share your story. That's so good. Kaylin asks, are you still able to watch any reality shows?
No, because I don't find it it doesn't help me in life. So I don't. And so if there's any show that I want to watch, it's usually Ellen, but we just have swing now and I don't get to record it. So I'm just whatever. The Olympics are on right now, but that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. This is a good one. Erin is asking, explain what you use for tracking. I think that's on our list to talk about with leaders this week. But
yes. So I've switched it up a few times. I used TeamZ for a while there, but then I'm one of those people, I hate notifications. I'm very type A. When my email has any numbers, I hate it. On Facebook, my messengers can get out of control. But I used TeamZ, and when I would log in, it says you have to follow up with this many people. And I was just like, no, I don't. And it bothered me. But I switched over then to Google Sheets, And I followed Micah Folsom, did a video on her tracking, so I followed that for the longest time. And I still do. I still have that. But then somebody else just posted a new tracking system. It might be Erin Trier. I can't remember. And it's a Google Sheet, though, but there's a bunch of different tabs on the bottom. So I started using that one. Yeah, and so there's like challenger prospects, coach prospects. I don't know where it was posted, but it's somewhere out there. And so I copied that one and started using that one. And so far, so good. So I'm not a paper and pencil type of person. I need it accessible on my computer at home and at work to be able to put everything down. But I started, instead of doing live updates on it, I started at the end of the day being able to go back into my Messenger or my text or Instagram messages, and that's where I'd record everything into my tracking system to keep track of it, instead of doing it all while I was messaging someone or something.
That's so good. For the new coaches on the call, can you explain tracking a little bit?
Yeah, so tracking for me personally, it's whenever I start a new conversation with somebody, not necessarily if I'm wishing them a happy birthday, nothing like that, but it's like if they liked one of my posts and I'm just thanking them for that and seeing if they're interested in learning more about my virtual wellness studio, or someone that reached out to me about coaching, then I add them to my coach prospects, and then I explain. There's a little section that if I add them to a certain group, like I have a list of the people in the current Coach Corner group or who was in the last one. And so then I know when to follow up with them too, and what the last like little tidbit of a conversation was about too. So that, because when you start talking to more and more people, you don't realize what you talked about and you don't want to feel stupid.
So true. Oh my gosh. And it's so true. I love what you said. You're like, oh, I tried this and I tried that, because I think that really is what it takes before you kind of settle in. Like for the longest time I tried too. Like I was on Teamsy for a while and it was just kind of like, it was great, I'm sure, but for me it wasn't. So I've gone back to pen and paper and I just like literally write everyone down that I invite, and that's what works for me. Now 2 months from now, maybe I'll switch it up. But like, I think what you said is so good, that you always have to sort of be asking yourself, is this working? Is this actually helping me, move my business forward? So that's awesome.
Yeah, I tried Google Streak for a little bit too. And I'm one of those people, I don't like emails. I like keeping it. I'm one of those weird people, I like to keep everything in Facebook Messenger. Even on Instagram, I try to move them over to Facebook to start like building the relationship over there, just because it's so much easier for me with the whole voice part. Mm-hmm. I love using the voice message feature on Facebook. It's so convenient.
Yeah, it's so much faster too than typing everything out.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions for Bridget? Or Bridget, anything that you specifically want to share about?
Not really. I think we went over everything.
Any other
Well, one thing I do want to share, because this is something for me in the first part, like you always hear about these new things and then you want to like really, you're like, oh, I should go that way because that's what's working for them or something like that. But if you have something that's working for you, just keep doing it. And so don't think just because something is working for another person that you need to go do that. It's good to try new things, but if you find something that's like you're really good at and it's benefiting you and you're having, seeing good results with it, just continue doing what you're doing. And so for me, it's like I like Facebook and Instagram, but I like building relationships on Instagram more, but then I like conversing over to Facebook. And so that's what works for me. But I know there's some people that love Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And then there's like LinkedIn now that I might like dabble in, because I do have a professional network on LinkedIn just with my career. And so there's different trainings out there for you to listen to and learn about, but just know that whatever's working for you, continually doing that.
Mm-hmm. That's so true, because you can so easily get in your head and think you have to switch everything up. But I think the important thing to remember is that it's not about having the perfect systems. It's about actually doing the work. You know what I mean? Like actually writing, actually moving your business forward. Because I've had coaches who like create a whole training system or a whole challenge group or a whole whatever, and then they have no one to put in there because they haven't actually like reached out or shared their story. So I think that's a really great point, that before you get too like, try and figure out all the details, like ask yourself, are you actually doing the work first?
Yeah.
Someone asked, so I think we were talking about just the messenger feature. So if you guys don't know about this, you can just press, there's like a little microphone once you're in Facebook Messenger, and you can hold it down and record messages. Mine only lets me do it up to a minute. I feel like other people have said that they've had longer. I have not experienced that, but you can record messages up to a minute, and it's great because like I do that a lot of times when I'm in the car because it's something that I can do while I'm driving. And also it's way faster than like typing it out on your phone. And it also adds just a personal touch when you send someone a message. A lot of time when I do that to my challengers or just to my friends, they're like, wait, what's this? And they almost always respond with text because they have no idea how to do it back to me. But, you know, I personally love it just because it is such a personal way. When they hear your voice, they know that the message is directly for you. Anyone else have questions for Bridget? Or questions in general? I have one more. So let's talk, because you're super pregnant and you have to like grow your business while you're pregnant. You know, plenty of people would say, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm just going to like wait until I'm not pregnant. So how did you decide to lean into that, you know, additional challenge instead of like using it as an excuse?
So I am a person that thinks consistency is key to bettering yourself anywhere in life, like whether it's your career, your financial freedom journey, like anything. As long as you're consistent, you know, the snowball effect will work its magic. But I just knew that how good I feel pre-pregnancy with working out and drinking Shakeology and all that stuff, that I wanted to continue it during my pregnancy. And I wanted to show people that it's possible to feel good, to have energy. I know not everybody is blessed with a good pregnancy. I'm not one of those people that suffered from morning sickness or nausea or anything like that, but I just wanted to show people that even while having a huge basketball under my shirt, that you can still fit it into your day. You can still, you know, eat right and fuel your body right to feel good and have the energy to be able to keep up with your family and everything else on our tasks, on our list. Because as moms, we have so many things to do that you just want to be the best version of yourself. And if I'm going to add pounds to it, I'm going to have it be the right pounds, the baby and the water weight and all that jazz. So I just wanted to show people that it's, you know, it's totally possible.
I love that. It's been so fun to follow. And I love that you do like the consistent, like, this is how many weeks I am, because it's just, it's so fun to look back and, you know, see all that.
I did that with Turner and Maddox too. So I was like, I have to do it for the baby. Otherwise they'll be like, hey.
Okay, Whitney is another new coach, which I love seeing questions from new coaches. How do you use LinkedIn? Do you add coaching as a job? I think we're all kind of adjusting to that.
I've listened to this coach. Her name is Z. So I've listened. She did a training. I should share it on the team page. She did one for Scotty Hobbs and another coach. I don't even know who the other one was, but Scotty Hobbs is obviously a popular one. And I've listened to it so many times now. I'm like, okay, now I got to take notes. And so she goes over that kind of stuff, but she doesn't mention Beachbody at all. She has since left her corporate job and now just has her team page as her job title, I guess you could say, or the business. But she doesn't mention Beachbody at all on her page or anything like that. And there's Bob Heilig has a LinkedIn training also where he talks about how you don't even have to put it anywhere on there. It's just you're building relationships just like other social media platforms, except it moves a lot faster, they talk about, because these are business builder type of people. They're expecting to be recruited. I get messages all the time on LinkedIn from recruiters about other accounting positions, like all the time. And so it's very normal to get a message like that. And so there's a few trainings. There's not a lot because LinkedIn is so new with all of this, but where network marketing is growing on there. But it's a really good training, especially the one she just did for Scotty Hobbs. I've listened to it twice, so I got to do it again. And I've been starting to build my connections on there because I've already had so many, but I'm starting to just intentionally build it more, and then we'll start to implement it very soon. So hopefully, I'll eventually, like, you know, have results from it that I can share with you all when that happens.
That's so cool. I'm going to have to listen to those too.
Yeah, they're really good.
To get someone cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Bridget. It Anything else before we go that you want to leave them with?
No, sorry, I was reading the chat. No,
I know,
I'm good.
I was just getting caught up too.
Just be consistent. The first book I read was The Compound Effect, and so it was like the best book I could have read right at the beginning of my coaching journey. And so I always have that stuck in my head is, consistency is key.
That's so good. The Compound Effect, you said, right?
Yep.
Everyone.
What? What about it? I don't know what he's saying. Oh, be real and genuine, he said.
Be real and genuine. That's good.
Yes. Don't try to fake it.
So true. Because people can so easily tell if you're trying to fake it.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Bridget, for sharing where you're at. I know that this is going to be a big year for you in so many ways, and so I'm sure we'll be hearing from you more. But all right. Well, thanks, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye.